Did you know Bangladesh is a major developing country? With prime access to global trade, minimal debt compared to its earnings, abundant oil resources, and a bustling population, Bangladesh has all the makings of an economic powerhouse. Meanwhile, it is also a magnet for international investors. But how did it happen? It's all thanks to the trusted Westminster legal system. Bangladesh had all the right stuff to be a top player in the fast-growing economy club. Even with all its advantages, it's still tagged as one of the least developed countries by the UN. Bangladesh has loads of potential to be a big shot in Southeast Asia's industry scene. Bangladesh as we know today began taking shape in 1971. Following a devastating natural disaster, the Bola cyclone struck the region in November 1970, tragically claiming the lives of around 500,000 people. Before it became Bangladesh, the country was called East Pakistan. It was a part of Pakistan, split from India, and stayed that way for about 25 years until it gained independence. This split happened in 1947 when colonial England left India and drew new borders, creating West Pakistan and East Pakistan. When the British drew the borders, dividing control in the West and leaving people in the East feeling unhappy, tensions started rising in the 1970s and talks about independence heated up. Then, in November 1970, the Bola cyclone struck, causing one of the worst natural disasters in modern history. It killed about 500,000 people in the East, which is like having 4 Hiroshimas happen in just 6 days. The government in the West didn't help much after the cyclone. So people in the East got really mad and decided to break away. Along with the cyclone deaths, many people lost their lives during the fight for independence, which lasted 9 months, from March to November 1971. While the fight for independence was happening between East and West Pakistan, India got involved in a war with Pakistan. This whole situation also became a part of the Cold War rivalry. The big countries like the US and the Soviet Union were trying to gain control and influence in the area, which caused a lot of global tension. The US didn't want to join in the India-Pakistan conflict because Pakistan was friends with China. While Bangladesh was trying to become an independent country, India made friends with the Soviet Union. The Soviets promised to help Bangladesh. This made things tricky because the two big superpowers, the US and the Soviet Union, ended up on different sides in the India-Pakistan war. At the same time, Bangladesh was fighting for its freedom. It was a tense time, almost making the Cold War even hotter. Things were really tough in Bangladesh during its push for independence. In just 2 years, the average life expectancy dropped a lot. Starting a new country is hard. But with all these challenges, it seemed like Bangladesh was set up to fail right from the start. First, there was a big natural disaster. Then a civil war that caused a lot of death and destruction. On top of that, there was a regional conflict with the scary possibility of nuclear weapons being involved. And all of this happened in Bangladesh's first year as a country. It wasn't all terrible, and things have gotten a lot better for Bangladesh since then. Even though it has some scars from the past, Bangladesh has some really good things going for it economically, like being connected to global trade, having low debt compared to what it earns, having oil, and a lot of people living there. With all these advantages, it could have been a big player in the region despite its tough history. But some deeper issues are holding it back, not just the rough start it had. Usually, we look at all these things together, like how much money it takes, how much money does it cost to make 1,000,000 TVs. Whichever country can do it for less money has a comparative advantage. All in all, when you put these things together, some countries are just better at making certain stuff than others. But no country is the best at making everything. Take China. They've got great systems for exporting stuff, lower wages compared to the rest of the world, and a government that lets industries pretty much do what they want without too many rules, especially when it comes to things like protecting the environment. Right now, Bangladesh is good at making clothes because it's cheap, but it takes a lot of people to do it. It's tough to use machines to make things like t-shirts in different sizes. It's really hard to use machines to make clothes because it takes a lot of people to do it right. Even China, which is super advanced in technology and right next door, can't compete because it needs so many workers. The advantage here is the country with the most people who can work for cheap, and that's Bangladesh. This is fine for now, but if Bangladesh wants to move up from being a poor country to a middle-income one, it'll need to switch from relying on lots of workers to using more machines and technology. Bangladesh needs to trade with other countries and get investments from them, so it can keep growing its economy. Having access to global trade routes and being able to sell stuff cheaply are both important. But it's also crucial to sell different things to different countries. If a country doesn't do this, it might end up buying more stuff than it sells, which is called a trade deficit. This can make a country more at risk when bad things happen, like the COVID-19 pandemic or other global problems. So countries need to sell a variety of things to different places to stay strong. When Bangladesh buys more stuff from a country than it sells, it has to borrow money to cover the difference. This means relying on outside help, like loans from the International Monetary Fund, IMF, to fix the problem. But Bangladesh hasn't needed to do this much because it has another clever way to handle money: remittances. Remittances are the money that people who work abroad send back to their home country. Remittances not only bring in money to cover extra imports, but they also help make Bangladesh's foreign money stash more stable. Having enough foreign money stash helps keep Bangladesh's money value steady, which makes people trust its economy more. For many poor countries like Bangladesh, remittances are super important. They're often the main or only source of money for families. This affects how much people spend on stuff in Bangladesh, which helps its economy grow. In Bangladesh, there's a big issue because they don't gather data well, so the information they share is often incorrect or strange. Also, in poorer countries, leaders might manipulate the data to make themselves seem better or to support their agendas. Bangladesh has a chance to boost its relationship with Myanmar. Right now, only 9% of Bangladesh's global trade is with its South Asian neighbors like India, Thailand, and Nepal. This trade within South Asia is really low, even though it's one of the fastest growing regions in the world. Bangladesh should use more machines and technology in its economy. Currently, it's famous for making clothes with many workers and sending workers abroad to earn money. But it needs to train its workers better so they can keep sending money home, especially as the country becomes wealthier. Thirdly, Bangladesh should make sure all its agencies that release important economic data are working together. This will make the data more trustworthy and transparent. If Bangladesh doesn't do this, it could end up like Sri Lanka did when it moved up from being one of the least developed countries. Sri Lanka had problems with its money balance, not enough foreign investments, and not enough different things to sell. These issues led to a big failure in 2021. Hopefully, Bangladesh doesn't follow the same path, especially since it has so much potential to be a great economy in the region. Let's see how Bangladesh fares on the Economics Explained leaderboard. First up, size. Bangladesh has a GDP of $460.2 billion, making it the 35th biggest economy globally, right behind Singapore and ahead of Iran. That's impressive, earning it a 7 out of 10. But when we look at GDP per person, it's only $2,668, way below the global average of $12,235. So for now, Bangladesh gets a 3 out of 10 for this. In the long run, Bangladesh has to fix these problems to sell more stuff to different countries and keep growing. But for now, it gets a 5 out of 10 as it faces some uncertain times ahead. Its growth has been really good, almost tripling in the last 10 years. Haven't you noticed that the natives of Bangladesh are migrating to different countries to work? What do you think about their smart move? Do let us know in the comments below. If you liked the video, hit the like and subscribe button. Until next time, see you all.